Hello again. This is a second video on as an introduction to Arena. We're going to browse through the options and the tabs that we have, so we get familiar with what the package has. We're not going to make this very extensive. This is just for us to be able to do the very basics of the course. Let's go. All right, so here we are in the main area. If we go to Home in the Home tab at the top, I would go first and foremost to the Arena help. Everything that you need to learn in order to be able to fix your issues would probably be available through the Arena help. If you click on it, you can find that the version that I'm running is version 16.1. That's the one that you can upload. Today is September 28th, and I think this is the one that should be available. You see all the topics there. You can search by theme, or you can actually make a search. So this is very useful. I recommend you to get familiar on how to navigate that. So there are some release notes. There you go. And these release notes talk about the issues and anomalies and what's new, etc. So that's the home. Very important you will have is this connect icon, because when you create these blocks, sometimes you may want to connect them in a different order, or they may not be connected as you want them, and you can connect them in the way that you decide them to go. In this case, I did it so it goes from process 2 to process 1 and not the other way around. You can auto connect and smart connect. The connection happens on those little icons or those little blocks at the left or right of the block, and it always flows from the left to the right. We have the capacity to zoom in and out, and to find items inside if we know the name of the block. We can zoom in if we know exactly where we want to go. We can zoom out or zoom out, right? And then you can again exactly to the region that you're interested. So that's a powerful way of navigating. Or you can say fix it in the page, and it will make it as large as possible, still fixing inside the page. So if you have more data, each one of the blocks will appear a little bit smaller, and you can run the simulation, etc. You can have animations in the next tab, animations, and anything that is more visual, like scorecards and display of the variables or charts. So a more visual output and the actual animation of the entities flowing through the system would be controlled from here. Draw is just a tool for drawing anything you may want. Actually, you can copy images and paste them as background if that would be your preference. Run allows you to control the number of iterations, the speed of the simulation, and other parameters. Of course, if you select batch run, it will run as fast as possible, because it will not update the simulation images inside in the screen. It will just do the computation devoting the computer power exclusively to the actual simulation. The statistics still be collected, and at the end of the day, doing simulation like this is not a video game. What you really need is statistics for the input and the output. So for the actual experimentation, chances are you would like to run as a batch. Here you have the view factor again, and you can zoom in and zoom out as needed. So that's a nice feature. You can scroll up, scroll down, and make it really, really small. Right. If you cannot find it in your page, then you can do that. All right. There we go. And what are the tabs that we have? In the previous video, we discussed that we have data definition, which represents which are the data that is built so far. We have elements for discrete processing. Important here are, of course, the create, the process, the assignment, and others. We're going to build several models, so I'm not going to work on demonstrating these now. Arena has a capacity for us to have control of the flow by making decisions. These decisions could include things like deciding based on a random format or based on the value of a variable, of a parameter. We can ask the entities to hold for a while, or the simulation to hold for a while, and we have others. We're going to demonstrate this side in a future video. Grouping, it's important because we can play with batches or lots as we put them together and as we split them into individual entities. These are items that allow us to generate data either for input purposes or output purposes. So if we have a particular distribution that we want to use, say for instance for the time between arrival, and it's an empirical distribution, we would define it here. For purposes of reporting, time persistent and entity-based variables and performance measures would be defined also here. We have a tab for the simulation, for the animation, in which we can define which pictures are going to be used for actual entities. You can have more than one image for the status of the entity. So entities that are active or resources that are active, we may have a different image, say, from resources that are broken or idle or just simply not available. And you can control that from here. You have the general reports that are mostly used in Arena for purposes of making the assessment of what's happening, and you don't have to do much in order to generate most of these reports. You just need to generate the model, and Arena will make the reports. Of course, you have the control of the runs that we mentioned before, the top tab, and that creates the type of summary that you need. And what else we have? And the last tab that we have is material handling. Actually, it's not the last one, but I skipped it. The material handling allows me to make definitions necessary to represent transporters and conveyors. Transporters are discrete transportation systems, like an elevator, like an airplane, like a car, like a truck. And conveyors is things that represent something like an actual conveyor in a manufacturing facility, or say for instance the escalator in a mall. So we have those two, and we're going to have a video, or actually, yeah, we have a video on that. So that's what we have, and hope you find this video useful. And if you have questions, just get in touch with me. Take care.